Hello and good afternoon. Welcome on in. Happy New Year and all that jazz as well. And welcome to the season 2 of our In Conversation with series. Yes, indeed. And we are kicking off with a wonderful guest today. Bibi Baskin is going to be talking to us. So without further ado, let's roll those credits. Yes, it's a very good afternoon to you. It's Alan Hennessy here from Kompass Media, coming to you live. Yes, indeed. We are on LinkedIn and we are also on Facebook as well, simulcasting as well. So if you do want to add your comments, you do want to tell us where you are watching in from, please do so by popping your messages into the comments and we will endeavor to answer them as well. But as I said, also remind us and tell us where you are watching from and also where you are tuning in and on what platform as well. We would love to hear from you. Okay, so as I said, today is the first in our second season of LinkedIn in conversation on LinkedIn, and we are going to be running these every Tuesday with at either 12 noon, which we will be doing for our European guests, or at 4 o'clock in the afternoon for our US guests, just with the time difference and stuff like that. So just to let you know, that's going to be happening every Tuesday. So I do hope you're going to join me for that. And today we have a phenomenal lady. I've gotten to know her over the last number of years. I've been a big fan of her ever since I was a young man watching RTE television many, many years ago. But I've gotten to know Bibi over the last number of years, and we've become very good friends, and it is always a pleasure. So, without further ado, let me introduce you to the lady herself, Bibi Baskin. There you are. How are you today, Bibi? It's a pleasure to have your company.
All right. Well, it's a pleasure for me to have your company. Really, that's the way it should be, I think. I'm in great form. I'm looking forward to a new year. I know it's very gloomy out there, but I have great hopes for 2021. And that's what I'd wish you and all your listeners and viewers as well. Don't give up the hope. You never can give up the hope.
Yeah, and I think that's the key important. That's what I've been hearing. So literally, from the start of this year, it's what everyone I think is saying is stay strong and stay positive. And I think people are, in a sense, that they've sort of found that the first sort of, especially with the lockdown and the first pandemic, or well, not the first pandemic, when it started first, I suppose people were very scared and they were very worried and stuff like that. But I think in a sense they have adjusted to it and they sort of have a better frame of mind now. But I do think that there is still some concern, obviously, and it's only natural. But I want to know more. So tell us, how are you getting on? How's things going on in the I suppose the real capital of Ireland? I'd be shocked for people. Some people might give out to me for saying that.
Well, you see, I'm easygoing in that because I can't claim Dublin to be my capital. I'm from Donegal, so it doesn't matter. And I'm sure that the people of the real capital down here in Cork will welcome you with open arms when you manage to make that trip down that we discussed. I think some people are still a bit worried. I think that this week was not a great week, Alan,
No.
because I can never forget that headline that said, the worst in the world. And,
Yeah.
I sent it the other day to my friends in India, and they were shocked because they're doing better than we are here in the first world. So I hope that we can sort of give a bit of hope and happiness to those who need it. But there are some people plowing through it rather well, and they're the real troopers, I suppose. And we have to be grateful for any little vision of hope and support that we get.
Mm. And I think that is so true. I think it's staying positive, and I think it's getting through. But I do agree with you. When you hear harrowing news like that, that we're the worst in the world, it's quite frightening, to be honest with you. But
Yeah.
I think we have to take the positives and support each other and work through it as well. And I know we're going to talk about your new adventure, another new adventure. You just seem to keep having these new adventures every time I talk to you. There's something new going on. And of course, we're going to be talking as well today about your new private Facebook group, the Happy Place, Bibi's Happy Place. So looking forward to hearing all about that. But sort of the first question that I would sort of ask is how did this Happy Place come about? What was the basis for it?
Well, the year that's just gone by was a great year in which to start searching for happiness. And during the lockdown, the first one, way back in March, two things had an effect on me. The one was that all my gigs dried up, like everybody else who did talks. I used to do motivational talks, as you know, Alan. They all stopped. And I did one or two on Zoom, but there is such a thing, I think, as Zoom fatigue, and it's just not the same. So I had to pivot really in the business world, as they call it now. And the pivoting was to try to earn an income from another source with the skills that you have already. I had a year ago, with the help of a small publishing company here in Cork, Number One Media Publishers, I produced a book of quotes, Bibi's Wellness Wisdom. And so during the first lockdown, I got writing again. And this turned into the Happy Book. So that
Mm.
started me on this quest of happiness, which in a sense I've been following and trying to discover more about all my life. I mean, for decades, literally. And so with the lockdown and the need to earn an income from somewhere else, I thought, let me try subscription only, members only, private Facebook group. And that's the one that's called Bibi's Happy Place.
Wow. So really, yeah, and like I've had a look at it, and it's fantastic, and I would encourage anyone to start looking at it. And you know, I think it's very important, as you say. When we think so many businesses have gone out of business
Yeah.
because of just the COVID and all the restrictions. And as you say, pivoting is such a great thing. I actually was talking to someone only the other night, and they were saying that the word pivot, is really about this whole circular, that you can pivot and you can move back and forth. So I sort of call it also a little bit of adjustments, because I think
Mm.
we can do this throughout the whole throughout our careers. And I suppose, as well, as I think that's very important. But I do see where I think there is a huge need for something like this, the Bibi's Happy Place. One, it has you as the person who's bringing the happiness to it. And like, I know we've worked on the podcasts, on your podcast before, and I have to admit, I love when we're recording them, because I just feel so calm and I feel so happy after doing them, because of just the content, but also, as you say, that, or as I always say to you, that velvet voice. And I know there's a certain person in Cork that called it something else, so we
Oh, you devil, yeah.
but yeah, no. So I suppose, what is it that people will get when they register and join the private Facebook group for the Bibi's Happy Place?
Well, there are a couple of things that are exclusive to it. And the start of this was actually quite a long time ago. Somebody said to me, look, I like to try my hand at meditation, but the only guided meditations I can find are in an American accent, and I'm not happy with that. We need somebody to do it with a good quality voice, a calming voice, but one of our own kind of thing. So
Hmm.
consequently, I lead you in meditations, and I've started with a meditation for beginners, because there are a lot of people who think, I can't do that sort of stuff. Well, you can. And the first meditation in the group is only 3 minutes. So I always say, don't tell me you can't find 3 minutes in the day for
Hmm.
you. Of course you can. And then we move on this week, because we're only a week old. We're only a week last night, in fact. Um, I've got a special longer meditation for anxiety. So that's one thing. And then the other thing I use the voice for is to read sleep stories, so that if you've difficulty nodding off at night, you can listen to me very slow down and in a calm voice. And it doesn't work during the day, but it's quite nice at night.
It does actually, because I'm falling asleep here. No, no, no.
One of the difficulties I'm having, Alan, is that when I read these things myself, I start to get dozy. I really do. And when I do the meditation, I happen to have this singing bowl here on my desk, and I love this sound.
Beautiful.
But I get dozy as well. I hope that's a good thing. I hope that means that they work. But in addition to that, we have three regular features. Mindful Monday, where I give tips on how to live life more mindfully. Wellness Wednesday, obviously things that will make you well, mentally and physically. And Fab Friday, which is where we all look back at what lovely thing happened to us this week. And we exchange that and we practice gratitude for that good thing or good things. Now, as well as that, finally, at random, because I love a bit of randomness myself, I'm not very routine, you know. Well, you know that well from working with me, you too. As well as that, we have a segment called Happiness Habits, which I'm going to launch this week. I've just compiled 20 of them. We'll do one a week. And then I've got Soul Moments, in which we will exchange very moving, touching stories of things that were positive and happened to us. That's where we're at. We're only a week old. Where will that take us? I don't know.
I think it's fantastic, and I like this idea of mindful Mondays, and it's all that. I think that is so important as well, because I think people, we forget to do this because we lead such busy lives that we don't take that time out to actually concentrate on ourselves and to give ourselves that moment to, stand back and look at the situation and breathe through it. I think, and I think that's so, so important. And I know you have, you've so much experience in doing this and speaking about it. Like, I've attended a number of your seminars and stuff like that, and I found them just fascinating. And I just think that we need this. We do need this now. And I think that's very important. Just I'm just looking at some of the comments. I popped them up there, but I know Yvonne Redden, who you've done a TLC with, her talk, Learn Connect, and she says, loved hearing Bibi on an event the weekend, and we will, with of course the wonderful Amanda Delaney, and the book is fab and it fits in your bag nicely. And how cool is that? That's lovely to hear. So thanks, Yvonne. Also, as saying hello is Michael Keating, and he's watching from Frankfurt. So great to see you,
Wonderful.
Mike. Thanks so much for joining us. And we also have, now I'm going to get this name wrong, Jadeep, is it? And
Jagdeep Sahans, I would say. A
yeah.
lovely Indian name. And I think Jagdeep, if I'm right, she makes wonderful calligraphy,
Oh,
beautiful writing. I think I'm right there.
brilliant stuff. And we also have Fergal O'Hanlon saying hello, Alan. So how are you, Fergal? And Mr. David Whelan is, I think this is a bit of a slag with me. He's saying you are never a young man. So I'll take that. I'll say no more about that. But yeah, so tell me this: how can people register for BB's Happy Place?
Well, I created a little, it's called a landing page, and you know that sort of terminology. And I didn't before a month ago or something. So it's like a little mini website about Bibi's Happy Place. And you'll get a bit more info, including what I've just said. And you can also sign up. And you'll find it at www.bibishappyplace.ie.
Yeah,
bibishappyplace.ie. There you go. And you can sign up for a month, or you can sign up for 3 months, whatever you like. Take a
fantastic.
little look anyway and see if it suits you.
Yeah, and we've popped the link below, and you'll see it scrolling across the bottom. And of course, we'll put it as well into the comments as well later on for people who want to just go directly there. Yeah, and I think it's so important, but that people do look at that. It's when we look, I suppose, at mindfulness and wellness. I know we did speak about it off air, and you said you would be kind enough to give us some, so I suppose, three tips that we can bring into 2021 that will help us be a little bit more mindful and increase our wellness, I suppose, as much as anything else.
I could give you 33 or 1,003.
Well, let's go with three first, and we'll see how we get on from there.
Papers of the stuff. I wrote yesterday on LinkedIn and on the other social platforms, and one of the things we must do, and I've written it down because I don't know where it came from, that we must develop more flexible mental muscles. And I thought, if Alan asked me what did I mean by that, I'm damned if I know now, but I studied it. I thought it was good at the time. And it's really part of the answer to your question, the three tips. We really have to become more flexible. And also, of course, we need resilience. But we need to become more flexible in the view that we have of our daily life. For example, we're all confined to barracks now, more or less, and certainly confined to 5 kilometers. I say change your outlook on that 5 kilometers. Go for a walk instead of taking the car, and start to look at all the different things that are around you in nature, and breathe and slow down your breathing and make that a mindful walk. You'll get fresh air, you'll get a little exercise, and if you make it a mindful walk where your mind is not racing away to your anxieties, then that will help your health mentally and physically. So that's one. The other one I'd say is, the pattern of daily life has changed so much for so many people, all working from home. So the partner's not going off to the office. The kids are home because it's homeschooling. All very different. Grandparents are not getting to hug their grandchildren for a long time with a short interval in between the two lockdowns. So what I say there is, create routines for the morning. Everybody needs a purpose in life. And lots of people, they stagger through life, Alan, and they've never quite worked out what their purpose is. And that's an awful pity. But if you work out what your purpose is, and it can be small or big, and it doesn't have to be connected with money at all. It can be connected with kindness that doesn't involve material goods. But that gives you a reason to get up in the morning. And with your household now all over the place like it wasn't a year ago, you have to substitute and put in routines. So get up gently. People talk about kick-starting the day. What? Never. I don't. I like to think I glide gently into it.
I roll gently into a day.
That's probably more accurate for me too. But nice and gently, a little stretch in the yabba before you get out of the bed in the morning, and then just your 2 feet on the ground to feel the sense of being earthed. And then this is key. This is really key. Deepak Chopra, I learned from him many years ago. You can play one of two movies in your head then as you start the day. You can play the misery movie of my life. Oh, I'm so miserable. I'm down in the dumps. I'm very worried about this. And rightly so. Everybody has worries. Or you can play the happy movie. And the happy movie is, here I am. I'm alive. I'm breathing. And there's a full day stretching ahead, we hope. How am I going to do something good? What's the best thing I could do for me and for those around me in that day? So there you have morning routines.
Fantastic, fantastic. And I think that it's very true. I always remember speaking to Jay Bear on one of the podcasts, and he says people are so busy now that they try to create these TV series instead of creating a documentary. And what he meant by that was doing that, as you say, that happy film in your head and bringing it out, and documenting what you do, because I think we have so much time during the day that we fill up with a lot of crap, and I'll say it straight out. Whereas I Whereas I think if we actually decide to actually say, okay, I'm going to fill this day with joy, and the joy can be in many shapes and forms, I think it makes life so much better and so much easier to work with.
I think it does as well. And, I go back to meditation because meditation is not this airy fairy thing for, hippies in Goa on the beach or something. No, no, no. It's a very practical and normal and accessible tool to calm you down, to stop that monkey mind that's always racing, and to bring a greater sense of well being into your life. So
Mm.
I would say as well, come on to the group, sign up with me, and I'll teach you. And it really will enhance your life and your happiness as well.
Yeah, and I think that, and that, that 100% totally agree with you. And of course, then you also have you've just released your second, um, what is it, your second happy book, as I like to
Yeah,
call it,
yeah.
um,
I
and
have
it's
it here.
vol- volume two, volume two, and it's great. I like I still have the first one. I have it up here somewhere. Yes, there it is. There, I have it right here. So I have the first one here,
Hang
and
on. Is that a hint for me to send you the second one? Did I not?
no, never,
Oh my
me.
God. Look, it's going off now. Woo, all the way to Dublin. Bray,
But,
kind of Wicklow.
but I know from even reading that one, and I would take that out on a regular basis and just, read some of the quotes in it. And it does give you a different perspective. It does make you stop and think. And, I think that's very important. And I know um, that your second book, I know you've done an interview on, um, I was
The
going to say,
60 show.
I was going to say TV3, but it's now Virgin. And you were talking about the book and the way you were going to be distributed and all that. And I think that was phenomenal. That what you're doing there. But I know you can get the book, and it is available on your website.
Online. Yeah.
And I,
If you just go to my website, there's a thing there that you press and you can buy it online. And
yeah,
Alan, there's been another wonderful little development about this book since we spoke. The publisher, you met him, my good friend Michael Mulcahy. Well,
do. And fine
yeah,
gentleman.
isn't he? Isn't he just? Oh, he's a devil too, like
Oh, I know
yourself.
that. We know that. Well, we have to say he's a wonderful gentleman, but we know
Yeah,
he's a bit of a funny streak in him as well. But
I'm great, just like
love,
yourself. Anyway, he's come up with this idea as the publisher. We put our heads together and we thought, nursing homes. What is going on with nursing homes? Are they losing hope? Do they need a little bit of cheer? They've been through such an awful mill and continue to be in many of the cases. So Michael thought if we could send a copy of this, a complimentary copy of the Happy Book to every resident in every nursing home in Ireland. Now it's a big challenge. And in order to be able to make that happen, what we need to do is to find a sponsor, a company, maybe a supermarket or a pharmacist in the community in which that nursing home exists, not outside of the community, because that company might know the resident, might know the family, the friends, because it's all about creating a sense of community. So that was just launched a week ago as well. So we'll see where that goes. We've already got a few up and running.
wow. Well, I think that's great. And obviously, anyone that is on the chat or is watching this on the replay, if you want more information about that, please do get in contact with Bibi or with Michael, and they'll be able to give you a little more details. Or if you want, get in contact with us here, and we will definitely forward on your details to them as well. So yeah, and full round of applause for that. I think that's fantastic, and I think it'll help so many people. It's brilliant. I suppose all the locals, super values, and the centres would be great ones to get them on board as well. So if we have anyone from Centra or from Super Value that's in the know, please do get in contact with us, because I think that is brilliant. Just looking at some of the comments here, baby, they're flying in, and I just wanted to say hello to a few people here. Michael Nulty says, "Hey, baby,
Oh,
Alan." the Canary Islands, enjoying the show. Thank you. So great to have your company. Also, David Brown has come in. He says, BB's voice brings me back to my childhood watching TV. She has never changed since Evening Extra.
Evening Extra. Evening Extra. My goodness, David. That was actually before I got my own show. That's a long, long time ago. Thank you, David.
So
Long time.
amazing. Brenda Bergen says hi, Bibi and Alan. So Brenda, it's lovely to see you. We also have Diane Grant. Great chat to listen. And thank you, Bibi and Alan. And then we have here, let me see what else have we got. Wow. And she also reiterates, yeah, local super values and centres would be a great idea. And then Diane also says, love the idea of getting the book to all the nursing homes. This could spread to the UK as well. So yes, Diane, get in contact with Bibi or get in contact with ourselves, and we will make the connection, as they say. Or if you were going want to speak directly to her. So I think that's fantastic as well. Brenda Bergen says, love the idea of resending the book to nursing homes. There's just an outpour of just pure delight and thankful and thanking you. Think we have made. Think you have to get a contact in Musgraves as well. Yeah, so that's yet again that's another one there. So there's so many great people that could help out and sponsor this, and companies that could sponsor it. So yeah, and it's brilliant. And of course, we also have to, as I said, mention about the good stuff that you're doing with the Bibi's Happy Place. So it's great. It's absolutely great. And I always so enjoy sitting and chatting with you here. And it's been a pleasure to have you on the LinkedIn Live, the In Conversation. And even better is it's season 2, and you are, of course, the first episode. And what better way to kickstart 2021 with Bibi Baskin? Bibi, how can people reach out and connect with you if they want to chat with you more?
Well, I'm all over social media, as you know. I'm a relative newcomer to it, but I'm on all the platforms, just Bibi Baskin, no other silly name or anything. And that would be Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. And then my website is just bbaskin.ie, and you'll find an email address in there as well. I'm not very good on the phone. I'm a very modern chick, you see, despite my age. I don't do phone calls anymore.
I know. I always know if I get a phone call from you, oh, this is urgent. It'll usually be a text or a tweet or a DM. But guys, I would say to you, I've been into Bibi's Happy Place private group. It's absolutely incredible. There's so much great content, and if you do want to register, it is bbshappyplace.ie is where you'll find all the details, and you can sign up there and do yourself a favor, go and do it, because it's well worth it. Bibi, it's an absolute pleasure as always talking to you, and thank you so much for coming on and chatting with us today.
So delighted to be with you again. Take care, Alan, and thank you.
Talk to you soon. Now, let me I'm going to switch back over here. I just have there's one or two comments. Seamus O'Donovan, actually, just before we go, says, greetings from the real capital Bibi. Enjoying being part of Bibi's Happy Place, positive and uplifting. So there you go. What better could we ask for a recommendation? So, as I said, thanks, Bibi, and it is always a pleasure to chat with you. And I'm really trying to talk here as I'm finding this thing. This is a bit better. Now, okay. So as I said, thanks so much for joining us today, and we shall talk to you soon and wish you continued success in the future. Now, let me just get rid of that. So guys, there you go. Fantastic. Bibi Baskin, The Happy Place. Go check it out. You can register, as I said, on bbshappyplace.ie. Visit our website at bbaskin.ie, and you'll find it all across all the social media platforms. I've been Alan Hennessy from Kompass Media for the In Conversation. Make sure to join us again next week, next Tuesday, at the later time of 4 o'clock, when I will be chatting to Mike Alton, the blogging expert, and he's joining us from the States. and looking forward to his company. So that's next Tuesday at 4 p.m. GMT. So if you want to put that in your calendar, we'll be putting details out over the next couple of days on that. But until next week at the same time, have a great week and stay safe, and we should talk to you soon. Until next time, bye-bye.